Go ahead over here. With the...
Is it on?
Yep.
Hello, this is Angela Chips Preteno.
Hey, Angela.
Hi, y'all. Hey. That's my Jersey accent. This is for Dan. What type of character do you like to play? A strong woman? A bad, crazy bitch? A badass? Or naked?
Thank you for the question, Angela. I like to play a woman who is, who has agency and who is naked. I just got a role that I'm going back to shoot next week, and I was like, I'm not sure about this because, I don't know, she's kind of not really me. And then there was a bit in it saying she's standing in the garden naked, and I went, I'll take the role.
Awesome.
Got to get the girls out while you can.
Thank you.
Next question over here on the right.
I'm Haley, and I just want to know if you ever took items off of set and kept them.
Anybody ever steal?
Bernie stole me a blue tracksuit and delivered it to my home by mail. Thank you, Bernie.
See? I am
But
fairly
I didn't
nice.
steal anything. It was Bernie.
When we wrapped the whole production and everything, they said to everybody who was working on it at the time, they said, you can bring, you can grab one teal each, one sort of teal tracksuit, which there was hundreds of them from all of the background actors and the main actors and everything like that, right? So I went through, and for Celia and for Tammy, I was like, oh man, they don't get a chance to kind of grab them. So I said, so I grabbed, Kaz Proctor, and then I sent both of you guys your own teals that were actually their own, uniforms in the show. Sorry, Dan. I should have sent you one. I'm very sorry.
I had enough teal.
And then I did grab a whole bunch of others because I work very closely with a charity, so I am in the midst of trying to get this sort of auction going where we'll actually auction off the original, some of the original cast costumes and try and make some money for this charity for mental illness that I'm very active with.
I also got, and I think you wrote this episode, Sarah, for Kaz. She loved horses, and we all happened to her horse. Her dad shot the horse, and she had that little horse that she broke in the cell. When we were talking, and I'd first started, and that episode was coming up, Sarah gave me as a gift little horses to celebrate that script in that moment. So I have those.
Little glass horses, I recall.
Yeah, I still have that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I get to keep things if I stick around long enough. And I was on All Saints with these two as well at the end, and I was a writer on that, so I got to keep heaps of... They do wardrobe sales, so you can go in and just grab things, so it's very exciting.
I think that our relationship on All Saints, because we were lovers second. But I think that was one of a monumental moment in Australian TV, was it not? Or am I talking shit? There wasn't really on commercial TV a representation.
Not on prime time.
On prime of women in love, and Sarah was instrumental in writing that for us crazy toots, and we had a ball. Thanks, Sarah.
Doing the work. I'm working.
Yay.
Well, that was a fun day on set. There was nobody to say no boobs today. No boob grabbing today. Manny,
Sorry if we grabbed your boobs during a photo shoot.
Tammy's the only one to be told off. No grabbing boobs.
Everyone else in the audience is like, why wasn't I at that photo thing?
They were all good sorts, by the way. Next question.
Libby, you ever take anything? Ever take anything from set, Libby?
I got the whole of everything. I don't go with just one thing. I got all of Bridget's gear, so I'm pretty happy about that. About 20 leather jackets. Yeah, so I just, in the morning, boom, that's me. So I still have my moment. Thank you to Michael Davies and Fremantle Media. And I get to wear them here, so even if it is 50 No, 100 degrees outside.
106, right?
106. Jeepers. That's like hotter than Australia, guys. Mate.
So that's what we start.
What are we going to do
Yeah.
when we leave here?
Next question over here on the left. Go ahead.
So my question isn't so much a question as much as a request.
Oh boy.
My cousin wasn't able to make it, so I don't know if you guys would mind me videotaping you all saying hello to him.
Love to.
What's his name?
Chris?
Ready?
So we just say, hi, Chris, we love you on 3, please. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Chris.
We love you.
We love you.
Thank you.
You know what? Back to that previous question of what have you taken from set? Another thing that when we wrapped up the whole thing, they were taking apart the exercise yard and everything, and I had this grand plan, like, because we have this bush property, my family have a bush property, and I'm like, I'm going to set up the exercise yard at our bush property, right? And it's going to be the veggie garden or something, right? So my brother and I got a flatbed truck, rolled up to when they were dismantling the whole exercise yard, and grabbed those big the big kind of wire gates and fences, and they've got the little sort of, the kind of key card things on them and stuff. And I still they're still up at at the shack at the moment. I haven't put them up, but I had this grand plan of having a veggie garden where you had to click to go into the veggie garden and stuff. You had to have a key card to get in.
Can I have one too?
Yeah, I got heaps of them.
I'll get Byron to come pull them up, and if there's enough for 2, then I can put one out at my joint.
Yes.
And we can, get locked up together with the chooks and, I mean, I can see where you're coming from,
Well,
Bernie.
keep
I
the
like
kangaroos
idea.
out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question over here on the right. Go ahead.
Did you ever, when you had to do the bleepy things, did you ever go beep, make the sound? Because I would have done that all the time.
No, but my brother Steve tells a similar story, right? He never used to do many fight scenes because my brother is also an Australian actor and stuff. He's probably more famous than I am. But, he's quite a slight build, and he was doing a fight scene one time, and the stunt coordinator had to come over to him after they were shooting and say, Steve, you don't need to make the punching sounds. Like, he was going, ish, 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 ish. He goes, mate, we'll put all that stuff in post-production. Don't worry about it. You don't need to make those sounds. And he's like, okay, good, no worries.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Go on.
Actually, I've got a question for Sarah. But first, Danielle, I'd like to know how it feels to be the one in my wife's head every night when we go to bed together.
It feels great for me. Thanks for asking.
And now I'm dreading the question.
Well, I should thank you because I'm the one getting the good loving. So thank you, Danielle. Sarah, I think at the beginning we all seen a little bit of a thing between Will and B. Was that ever going to be more than just a little flirty type of thing? Was it ever going to go farther?
It wasn't intent. I don't think they were meant to be kind of falling for each other a little, but I don't think it developed because it felt very, and I think Dan and Robbie worked on that. And sometimes what happens on set or people's chemistry or whatever, it becomes apparent as you're writing, and then you might write into it more. And so those things develop out of that. But I don't think, I can't remember whether we ever wrote or plotted something where in the 4th season where they went further than that. But no, it was always just a real connection.
They didn't like each other.
They didn't? No, hang on, guys. We were plotting that for the 4th season. We actually ended up plotting that maybe it all went away.
Yeah, I think in that first couple of seasons, it was feeling like it was going there. And I know that Robbie and I were like, and especially for me, I was actually adamantly against it. Mm-hmm. I felt that, not because I think that they had that connection, but it felt to me like B didn't need to have a romantic storyline at that point. You know, she didn't need to have a kind of, hey, let's all bow, da, da, bow, bow. And I was like in your girlfriend's head anyway. So, although there's a lot of me to spread around.
Yeah, I remember it as being something that was definitely meant to be early in the season, early in the series, definitely.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, next one over here.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is super exciting. I have a question for everybody. So other than yourselves, do you each have a favorite character on the show? So mine's Boomer, for sure, other than you guys.
And then you guys. Careful, top dogs.
Mine's Bridget. Bridget's my favourite character. Yeah. Sassy, loving, true, clear, cuts through the shit, fucks the labels. Yeah, she's mine.
Well, mine's Kaz. Oh yeah. From Sharwin to what are we, Kaz and Gidget? What's that? Kidget. Kitty. Oh God, I'm just kidding.
My favourite character was Sky. I absolutely love her. And I think it was a gross injustice that she didn't get more of an arc. Yeah.
Apart from the freak, you know, which is, and I don't know if I could probably speak for on behalf of everyone, but that for me that was a kind of also a professional sort of treat, you know what I mean, to work with Pam and to be sort of dancing with Pam and doing all that stuff with the freak, and it was, you know, I'd watched her on stage in so many productions, and just her presence on stage is unbelievable, and then to be working with her in that thing was a real treat. But that character was awesome. But also Sean Brody was a fun character as well. Rick Donald. Fuck Sean Brody. No, but like in terms of just a fun character. I know, fuck him.
Who's Sean Brody?
Slit Kaz's throat.
Apparently,
no fun in that character for me.
Who's Sean Brody?
Apparently, I did fuck him.
Kaz.
Oh, okay, right.
He killed Kaz. Have you people not been watching the show?
Danielle's like, who's that? And I'm like, he what?
Look, I appreciate your opinion, but I choose to
Kaz
fuck it off.
dies?
How
You
did you
die?
die?
Yes! Sarah Bear, who's yours?
Oh, come on, guys. I'm not. Look, all of the characters are my favourite. If I was to mention someone who isn't on this panel, then I would say Frankie, of course.
Yes.
Great question.
Thanks, guys.
Let's do next over here on the right.
Hello, my name is Destiny. My question's for Bernie. How do you feel about your character's development throughout the show? I think that you ended up having a positive outcome towards the end, but I want to know what you think and if there was something you would have loved to change or see happen for his character.
That's a great question. Thank you. And it's a tough one to kind of encapsulate in one answer. When I first got to Wentworth in season 4, I had my sort of story arc meeting with Marcia and Pino, and they were talking about where he was going, and all I had was the audition material that I had auditioned with, and that's kind of all that I had. There was a character breakdown. And then at the end of it, they were like, you know, we're really excited about this character because, you know, in the next, you know, what we're projecting forward is this character that is really duplicitous and becomes really nasty and really quite an evil kind of character and stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't realise that this was as far as it was kind of you were intending to go. And I love that. Like, you know, that's the thing. You ask most actors whether they prefer to play a hero or a villain, and they'll probably say villain. It's more fun, you know what I mean? It's kind of delicious, and you can kind of, you know, get stuck into it and everything. And you know, there were things like people walking up on the street is a great validation of your work when they come up and they go, I fucking hate you, mate. I fucking hate you, and you're a fucking, you know, you're like, whoa, well, thanks, man. really appreciate it. You know, that's, it means that I'm doing my job right, you know, that sort of thing. And so it was so much fun to kind of play all that sort of stuff. And, you know, even my wife, like, you know, we're sitting, because we were fans of the show as well. And that, I think that's something really important to note, is that so many of the people who worked on the show were actually fans of the show as well. And that's not always the case with a show that you work on. Sometimes, you know, you just do it for the money, right, Tam? Yeah, but we were all fans of the show. So my wife and I are sitting down, and she never used to. I'd be reading scripts, and I'd go, ooh, and she'd go, don't fucking tell me. No spoilers. And then when this shit happened, like with Jake and Vera and stuff, we're sitting holding hands, watching it. She'd go, how can you do that? How could you? I fucking hate you right now, and you're sleeping on the couch. I'm like, what? You know, I'm just doing my job. So, yes, it was really great to play that. But then, really, I got the best of both worlds because, you know, we're getting into now 5 and 6 seasons that I've been a part of. And they're like, we're excited about Jake's kind of, you know, obviously it was a redemption story. Like, he tried to redeem himself in the eyes of Vera. And you know, to become a father of baby Grace and to be seen as someone who's responsible enough to be a father. So, yeah, to play almost the hero in the end was really great to kind of just have that sort of, to weigh the scales, to even the scales up. And if I could have changed anything, I would have liked to have died in some heroic way, like, you know, saving baby Grace. There's a last, you know, effort of saving her life, or even saving Vera's life. He sacrifices his own life or something.
I love killing actors.
Right?
Clearly.
But in the end, we got this lovely tableau at the end where it was all happy families, and the big crane shot that came past, and we were like, oh, the family's back together. Oh, look, Ali's come back, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, okay. You went down that road, okay. You know, it could have been a huge body count, Sarah.
I didn't do anything
No.
because I wasn't on it then.
No, that's right.
Did you get balloons? I got balloons. Did you get balloons in that crane shot?
There weren't any balloons. It was after the prison had blown up, so there were no balloons.
No, who did you have in the sky? Seahorses. Seahorses? You can have balloons and seahorse, anything you like, Sarah. Come on, there was nothing in the sky for him.
Sure. Balloons in the sky.
Do you want to see the final ever shot of the show? I've got it on the video. I've got it on there. I think it's in Jenko's subfile, and it says final ever shot. I think it's called final ever shot. I think it's called. Not a lot goes on, but it's an interesting. This is the final scene that we shot of the actual show. Here it is.
Here we go.
It's basically Ali. You can't see that much of it, but it's Ali kind of crawling through the.
And I could drag it out, but I won't. I'll put it down of our misery. Thank you very much, folks.
That's a wrap, folks. And that's
The
it.
magic of filmmaking.
Oh, let's go, old ladies. Come on. You didn't know? Jesus.
No, I knew I was kidding.
Once you were out, you were like, I'm not watching it ever again now.
So you guys had beers while you were at work? Not allowed to have beer here? I've got a beer out there.
Bring the beer for Tammy, can we? Is it still cold? Or you
All right,
drunk it?
question.
All right, we'll have it.
Question.
Okay, go ahead over here on the left.
I was just wondering for the for the ones who played inmates, did you like, as far as like researching the life of a prisoner, like get influence from any like American prison shows, or perhaps in your younger days maybe spend a night or two in jail, or like or did you like consult with actual prisoners? Like how would you say you researched like being incarcerated?
Personally, the scripts were kind of perfect, so you didn't need to go and do that shit.
Lucky you guys.
I went and visited a women's prison in Melbourne halfway through the first series. I didn't feel it was necessary to begin with because it was Bee's first time in prison. So I needed to just kind of have that journey of her, having, it was a completely new environment. Visiting the prison was a really humbling experience. And when we walked in there, it was clear to me that the production designers had already been to this prison because it looked exactly like Wentworth. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I thought that our set was a little bit lush looking, but it was not. It was exactly the same. Yeah. Why are you clapping?
Can I answer that from a writer's point of view? Because there is research, you get taken to these places. But one of the things that happens, I actually used to be involved in something called Outside In, which is bringing women out of prison and putting them into temporary housing long ago. And I used to visit the women in jail, so I had an inkling. But the question about whether or not you watch television, as a writer, I steered away from every prison show that I did not want to see them. I don't want to, because it gets into your head and then you think, oh, I can't do that story, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. So from a writer's perspective, definitely no American TV for me.
We had some ex-inmates and also prison corrections officers that came and spoke to us in that first week of pre-production. So we had access to both sides. Which was really interesting, and the correctional officer was saying that women's prisons, way above men's prisons, are way more dangerous and worse because females are tricky bitches.
I will say that we have, probably you would all say the same thing, but we do get a lot of feedback from people that have had experience in prisons, being either an inmate or a guard, that do come up and say, you guys, that was real. That was, a lot more happened in a sort of a shorter space of time, of course. But we're making television, right? But even one of our guys over here was saying that he used to work in a prison. He's like, you guys really nailed it, man. So, and that's really high praise when you hear something like that from people who've lived that experience, to know that you were, authentic in making that TV show.
So I think we got 2 more over here and 3 more over here. We're going to try to get to all of them, so nobody else get up, but we're going to knock out these 5. So go ahead on the left.
I'm so nervous. I'm going to seem like a copycat, but I swear I was up here with the other lady who requested it. My daughter would kill me if I left here without you guys saying hi to her.
Is her name Chris by chance? We could just use the other video.
Her name is Armani. Her name is Armani, and she wanted me to also say, B, she loves you.
All right, get the camera ready.
All right.
Here we go. It's Armani,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Armani. We love you. Sound good? Is that good? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Armani. We love you.
Thank you.
All right. Over here on the right.
Hello, my name is Andrew Martin. And first of all, I just want to say it's an honor to meet you all. I've always been a fan of the show since it started. My question is kind of to all of you. Will there ever be a spinoff to Wentworth?
Spinoff.
Someone had to ask the question. I guess, look, I think the way TV works, it's never a no. There's never a definitely not. I mean, there are characters in there who certainly deserve to be, extended beyond that. But it's really about whether or not there's an audience and a market for it. Whether, whether, the productions, the production company like Fremantle think that it can afford to and wants to test that audience. Maybe. I don't see why not. But I'd love to see it on the outside, actually.
If there ever was a spin-off, would either of you be interested in returning?
Yeah.
Prequel.
We could do The Walking Dead Wentworth.
B and Kaz can haunt the show.
Isn't it nice though to put something to rest every now and then? You know, just to go, thank you. Really?
Because I think if you get a spin-off, you know, even in your mind, if you think it's a spin-off and there are storylines and people that transfer across, that show in itself will have a new heartbeat. You know, it will be a new thing. It will... A men's prison?
That's why I said.
Are you at
That's
the
why
right
I said.
convention?
Walford.
I do think there was talk at some point of doing something with Celia Island's character in an halfway house, in coming out. And, you know, there was a scene in the early one where she came out.
I personally would watch the Boomer Chronicles.
Next question.
All right, last question over here on the left.
Catch those balloons again. I can see.
Hello, my name is Linda, and I love the show. It's just amazing. My first question is for Libby. What was really wrong with your leg? When your leg was hurt, was it a real thing?
It was,
like,
yeah.
were you really
I
hurt, or
broke
was
my
it-
ankle. Yeah.
How,
Oh,
Libby?
okay.
I was really annoyed because there's such a fabulous Thelma and Louise setup to the storyline. And then when I told Kev Carlin, the director, he went, oh, God, I really wasn't happy about it.
So
And,
that was...
It was real. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last question is, are you all going to be at the party tonight?
I got to be honest and say no. I got a kid at home who's like nagging me on the phone, so I'm sorry.
You coming tonight?
He's old enough to come, isn't he, Tam?
No, not in the States. He's not.
Oh, he's not.
No, he'll be 21 to be at those things, right? Yeah, right. You guys are drinking, right?
Right.
I mean, you're not just, you know, playing cards and stuff. You're drinking and singing. They're singing.
Yeah, I believe they're singing,
right?
yeah.
It's going to be fun.
I don't know about the other kids.
Well, Bernie will be there, so...
I'll be there, that's right.
There you go.
Who knows?
All right. Last two questions over here. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. My name is Elizabeth from South Carolina. How are you guys? My question hopefully is a fun one. We all know that you're talented. You're wonderful. But do you guys have any, like, special hidden talents? Or, like, are you double jointed? Or, like, anything fun like that?
I can do a cartwheel, but you saw that.
Yep. Other than the cartwheel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got the beard.
Well, she can be double jointed in a minute.
All right.
My thumb does this right angle thing. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh,
but
what?
it's
I can't do that.
both of them. You can do that?
I can't.
Oh, wow.
Double jointed.
It's great for pushing thumbtacks in to walls.
My thumb's got its own heartbeat over here.
What? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Little clicking
Love you guys.
Thank you so much. Love you too.
I've actually got holes in my head. That's my excuse. And my daughter was born with them too, no fair income.
You've got holes in your ears?
Yeah, yeah, fair income.
Don't most people have holes in their ears?
I don't.
I think they're extra ones. I think they're special ones.
They're special ones.
All right. Last question. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Crystal. I think this is more for Sarah, but there was a picture going around online where Vera was looking down the crib to Grace, and then Bridget was standing there too. Was that supposed to be part of the show, and they cut it out, or is that just supposed to be like? Were they supposed to bring back Bridget?
You'll have to forgive me because I wasn't on those seasons, so it's not a question for me. Do you know?
I don't. We did shoot the scene.
Right.
And it was a lovely moment with, it was a lovely moment. That we were looking at the baby and it was time for us to have a baby. Yeah, we were really thinking about it, and Frankie was just... Spinoff!
Bridget's baby.
Bridget's
So they
baby.
they just cut
diary
that part.
baby, something.
They just ended
With
up
holes
cutting
in
that
its
part out.
ears.
Hold it. So I'm not sure what happened to that, but you don't know, Sarah? No, I don't. No.
I'm sorry I can't answer that more fully. I mean, there are writers on the show who would be able to answer it. Maybe you can write to Marcia Gardner.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for the great questions. Really appreciate it. Give it up for your panel.